88 Films.
I'm back in it. Obviously, we got my co-host or host, Briss, me, and the Pocket Man. We got a special guest today, highly anticipated by us, and I'm pretty sure the people out there in the YouTube world and the streets. We got
Which camera do I
right here. You're right here, Captain Barlos. What's good, bro?
Happy Dr. King Day.
Exactly. I'm glad you wore the hoodie today.
I never work on Dr. King Day, but for them, I love them, so we'll do it.
Closer.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
work
just pull
on
it.
Dr.
You can pull
King.
it.
Yeah, you can pull it towards you. There we go.
All right. This is my first time, so I don't
Yeah,
really
that's
do
10
this
push-ups,
talking.
10 push-ups.
You said the F word. There we go.
I can't cuss.
No,
You said something else. All right, anyways.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Here we go.
All right.
I owe 40, too. No, 30.
Fuck. All right. So first and foremost, let's break down the fit real quick. Let them know what you got on. You can stand up, and then I got you. All right, we got the nice Supreme MLK hoodie right in front of the camera. Yes, sir. That's a good one. The pants.
Pants are fire. I'm going to tell you a story about
Yeah,
That's
50.
50 push-ups.
Keep going. F word. My pants, so you know
Gallery pants.
Gallery is not really that fire, guys. Don't waste your money on that.
60 push-ups.
But, I'll take it for that one. But these pants are cool because there were regular Levi's, and gallery charges you extra price to customize your pants or whatever.
Okay.
They messed up on the customization, so then they had to redo them for me. So the pants went from $700 to $3,000. And I got them for free. Holla. Yeah, so the gallery department, I spent so much money there.
Yes, sir.
And they forgot to, give me my order after so many months. I think I waited almost a year. That the dude was like, I'll give you your money back and give you the pants.
Easy.
So I was like,
There we go. Shout out Gallery.
he got fired though.
Oh, man. All right. And then on the shoes. yeah.
Much love.
Yeah, much love. And then we got the nice
Yeah, so these
Chicago
my-
off-whites.
These the off-whites. I really call these the rest in peace Virgil, because if Virgil
Yeah.
was still alive, he would have seen how much I motocrossed in them, and we would have had
Exactly.
something going on with them. So I really wear them because I really like dirt biking them every day. It's the scars, and let me show y'all the socks.
Oh, the item. Good socks.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Pause.
What you got on? Oh, T-Mac.
A lot of people come on y'all podcast and don't even wear y'all clothes. What's going on with that?
Damn.
That's kind of weird. Like,
Sozo, what you got?
crazy. Like,
Yeah. Sozo's in the background like, yo.
I literally
Yeah.
do the opposite.
Yeah, my bad.
Sorry.
All right. Cool. So tell us a little bit about, for the people who don't know, because people probably looking like, yo, who's this dude? Like, who's Captain Barlos? Tell us a little bit, like a little background on you.
Pass on the mic.
A little 5 seconds, whatever.
I've been friends with Briss, Danny, and Manny. Well, first it was just Briss and Manny, longer than you guys have, for sure. So that's how they know Captain Barlos,
Okay.
because these are my friends' store and it's their podcast, and I'm like one of their oldest friends in the sneaker world too. Not like friends like we hang out outside, sneaker friends.
Yeah. All right, cool. And now we're going to get into you. We were talking in the back.
Uh-oh.
It was a good little story that you gave me.
Uh-oh.
I think it's a nice story, where you were saying how, bro, I've been in this sneaker game a long time. And tell us that story about that Supreme Dunk. What was it?
The Supreme SB?
The
Yeah.
red cement.
The cement one.
Yeah.
Supreme is just a crazy place.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Supreme is a crazy place, and getting items out of Supreme back in the day used to be like if you you can have 20 pairs of the new Jordans that come out. You can have the samples wasn't even really that hype, but if you didn't have the Supreme item, it was kind of ugly for you. So that picture on my Instagram with me holding the picture, holding the Supreme Dunk, was just kind of me flexing because I got let in early on some friends and family Supreme shit, and I took the picture, I posted it, and the picture went viral. It went crazy. People were a little bit upset. People were mad because Supreme has this policy rule, unwritten rule that you can't take photos in their store. So not only did I take a photo of the store, I took a photo of the item in the store before the store was open in front of everybody, and then I posted it before I even got out the store. I was thirsty.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just disobeyed all those rules. But yeah, that picture was epic. It was worth it. You know, back in the day, when Instagram and stuff really came out, you know, iPhone only, you did a lot of things because it was worth the picture.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't no fit pick. You know what I mean? No. There was fit grid where you lay the shit on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how old I am type shit.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, it was like you post something and you hit it with the Instagram filter and you make it look as ugly as possible and you post it. I remember like it wasn't no fit pics. It was just like I remember like even just thinking about my old Instagram when I logged back into it, I was just like, damn, these pictures are horrible.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, and I think even like that, like I think that's just a perfect way to just introduce you of like, because I remember that's like just like a time to be in. The fact that you were in it and you were saying how strict it is, like just to give people a little like sense of who you are, where you're coming from. Now we're gonna get into a little bit.
Can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I watched the podcast a lot. I didn't know you had the rollie on, man. You doing good, man.
Oh,
That boy shining, man.
Casio. Nah, you know. I don't know what to say. Bruce, take it away.
All right, so one question that I want to ask.
He wants to get right to it,
No,
guys.
it's just like, so I know you work on a lot of projects and blah, blah, blah. So what would you consider your role, I would say, in this industry? Like, what do you do essentially? Like,
oh, man, that's a crazy question. A lot of people, the word creative is so abused these days.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't want to use that word, but a lot of people ask me that, so I guess that's the fun part about it at this point now. It's like what do you do? What do you do? I don't know. Like, so I guess I'm gonna answer you like that. I don't know, you know.
But like, cause you work with a lot of projects, you're around a lot of different circles. Like obviously with Aleali, and then I see you do stuff with Beastroy, and then 100 Wolves. Yeah. And it's just like all these people that I've met through my journey. I was just like, for some reason, you have a connection with them.
Yeah.
And every store I've ever worked at, you even said, I was like, I've been to every store that Briss has worked at and purchased something.
Yeah.
Even like my little stint at District 1, you pulled up, and the reason you pulled up is because like you went to round 2.
They said Britt's not here no more. Yo, that's so. Yeah. No disrespect to anybody that ever felt like I ever disrespected them. I'm just being me. I just walked in round 2, New York, like, yo, where Britt's at? Like, I don't know nobody in here. I didn't know nobody in there, and they literally was like across the street, and I'm like, oh shit, my bad. Then I walked across the street, and you were there.
No, yeah. So I've seen you have like connections with like a lot of people that I've met. So how did you, like, for example, like you being an LA dude, how did you go that way? Or is it because they came here and then they were like, yo, talk to Barlos?
It's kind of like a both ways. A lot of jobs that I did come across was like a referral situation. I met Brick at Coachella. We slept on a couch because we both couldn't afford to rent a house at Coachella. And within 5 minutes of seeing the jeans that he wore and him telling me he made them, I said, you're going to be a millionaire. I already know that. And if I had $1 million on me, I'll give it to you. So, you know, I guess being trustworthy in business builds up, because by the time Brick actually needed business, I've already done 100 businesses, and then, you know, boom. I remember Virgil emailing me and like the Complex team being like, yo, we need Beastroy for this interview. And I never even met Dew before. Yeah. And I have to get Dew's working with Aleaks in Italy. So I got to come back to them and let them know, well, you got to buy 4 flights for him to even get to America. Yeah. You know, just crazy stuff. So once I felt like I completed certain tasks, they were like, nah, Barlos is like great at this shit. Like whatever, you know, we're going to do it with Barlos. With Aleali, it's kind of just like, it's like just hometown shit. Like she makes sneakers. I'm like one of the niggas in the sneakers. So it's like, I felt like it only made sense that we got together, because I never asked her and she never asked me. We just got together and never left each other.
Yeah. No, that relationship's been for a while.
Yeah, it's for a while.
And I even feel like just from what I've seen and just you as a person, like coming in, I feel like what really separates you from a lot of people, and even I think what makes you like your guys' energies like clicks, is that I think you always stay true to your roots, you know? Yeah. Like you could have easily, like I said, I did a deep dive on your Instagram. Like I feel like you could have easily been like, I'm lit, I'm moving, I'm over here, I'm over there. And I think like just to bring up that little, I think it was a Nike or a Jordan promo that you did, and you're like, damn, like this is a big moment for me, because you did like an ad from where you grew up.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, like, especially me with my brand, that a lot of people don't know about is that I always, like, everything that I've been doing, like hoodies, pants, it was all from stuff that I seen as a kid.
Yeah,
Like seeing all my brother's homies that, you know, were not necessarily doing the right thing in life, but I was like, damn, they're fresh. I always had a fresh cut, nice jeans, nice hat. So it's like I'm embodying that now growing up just in my own flavor. So can you talk a little bit about that, like that ad that you did for Jordan and like what that meant to you?
It meant a lot just because you get hit with an underdog situation a lot. So, you know, being an underdog or like being like, you know, not the most famous creative or like not lit on the Instagram. I like, you know, if you go through my Instagram, I take pride in not posting a fit pic. Like, like what's a fit pic, you know? But that ad was so fire because it's filmed on 111th and Western. You know, I seen a nigga die right there. I seen a lady cry right there. I've never seen no white folks right there. You know, just so much negativity right there.
Yeah.
And then to bring a full production team, you know, the drones and different camera. We had 3 different camera crews. Yeah. Just beautiful. And picking kids from my neighborhood too. Like I put a 6-year-old kid in there. He rode the dirt bikes with us. I put kids from the block. It was so crazy. And then it's a blessing having Aleali like trust the vision too, you know? Like I told her like, yo, let's shoot it right here in the hood. And she like, okay, cool. Like we shot at the gas station on Slauson and Western. You know what I mean? A lot of people have been to LA, but they for sure haven't been to Slauson and Western. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So I tried to paint the picture as vivid as possible. Like if you like watching 90 LA movies, you go to my Instagram, you're gonna if you book me to do a job or an ad, you're gonna catch a 90s LA vibe because it's very Los Angeles as could be.
And I feel like even that, like where I mean, I always try to embody stuff like that when I'm doing my stuff because that's what I grew up on. Yeah. And obviously, like, you know, thank God, like my parents kind of didn't let me fall into certain situations, but I'm always like I have this thing called cold-blooded where it's like, even though you're in a certain situation, you can make the best out of it, you know? And I think that was like the most important part that I feel like a lot of brands do where they try to like embody something and it's like, but it's like you're kind of grabbing that culture and you're not even from there. So I think it was beautiful that they came to you and Aleali like gave you that because that's you. They didn't like, they could have got easily somebody else that was a creative over here, but like, you know, I think that's something that a lot of people should take back home. Like even you might not be in the best situation in your life, but you can kind of like make it into something that it's cool in a way, you know?
You know, before like really Instagram and things, like we all come from being poor, you know, and being poor was fun, you know, coming up with ideas. I give the best dressed people in the poorest person because every day you creatively came up with a fit that we loved. We don't know how you got the money. We don't know how your mama got the money or how your daddy got the money, but like you got the new Rockaware jean suit on, like to us that costs $10,000 and we'll never see $10,000. So like go back to what you said, yeah, of course, like the influence is always fun. It's when you become an adult and you really have to like strategize and like pick a part of it, then you're like, oh yeah, this is not fun. Like I feel like a culture vulture, you know? Yeah. It's killing my community just to make a couple of bucks. Like, yeah.
And I even think like even Briss does like a perfect job with Syndicate where he could easily like, you know, there's so many times where he could easily be like, oh, I'm gonna take someone to the paint for the shoe. I'm gonna sell it for the high. But he always like gives back to the community, whether it's here or whether it's where he actually stays at. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people can even take from you, where you're just like, you don't really see it as like I'm on now. Like you're just like, I take my roots and I like give it to the world and show the good in it, you know? Yeah. So now I'm moving forward from that. I think I see, bro, you be trolling on the internet. Like just like, oh, this is my fit pick post. And then I also seen you wear the Needles tracksuit. You're wearing it religiously. Yeah. What is it that you like about that so much?
You know, that's another thing with fashion. So I was introduced to Needles, to Neptunes in Japan. Okay. You know, I went to the store. I saw it in the store for the first time. I got the history learned. They thought I was somebody I wasn't. You know, I took it and I ran with it, obviously. But, you know, So when I came back to America, I'm kind of like, nah, this is crazy. I just spent $400-500 a pants in store, and on top of that, I went thrifting and found other pairs of needles. So I'm thinking when I come back to the States, like no one's gonna have it. But you got Flacco, you know, he like the flyest. So it's like he had him. He got the collab with him. He killed them. But when one of my mans went to Japan, he bought pants for the whole crew. Like he bought pants for everybody. You know, special edition ones. Like we just kept the tradition going. So I got so many needles because it was like a crew thing. Like me and my crew, these were our sweatpants. Yeah. It wasn't really that popular. So people would be like, oh, you got butterflies on your pants. You know, and I would be like, yeah, that's tight. Like, you know, and people would think I was wearing the same pants because I got the black and blue, the black and red, the black and purple, black and gray, black and green, you know, so.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then, I don't know, like, I'm not like the biggest fashion guy. So once it's like a fashion statement, I get nervous. So then I'm like, oh, no. Yeah, I got to get away. No, needles are dirt bike pants now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I can't, and I don't say dirt bike pants and disrespecting the dirt bike because I love the dirt bike. I love to be the flyest on the dirt bike, you know? So when I say they dirt bike pants, that's just letting you know I'm not flying them. These pants cost $3K. I'm not wearing these on the dirt bike, but I'm for sure wear the needles on the dirt bike, easy. Burn the holes at the bottom, rips from the engine and shit. It's fire. Yeah.
And I even think like a lot of people can take away from that, where it's like how would you describe your style in certain things? I know a lot of people, like when they see Briss or when they see even me, like,
Briss is buff.
Why are you doing that? why are you wearing this? Or why is everything like what does clothes mean to you behind the scenes of just wearing it, obviously?
Clothes means to me, because I was born and raised in Los Angeles, you have to walk home from school. You know, we don't got the best public transportation here. So from a kid, anytime I got dressed, I don't care what the brand is, I have to be comfortable. I got to be able to run from the gang members, run from the police, you know, run from the dogs in the alley, but still look fly if the kickback's at 7. You know what I mean? It's still got a brand on that you can identify with to let you know that I'm not like a bum ass nigga. You know what I mean? It's a lot of levels, but as I got older, I love skater swag, like skateboarders, because I love a t-shirt and a jean, and skaters would just have like, just a t-shirt, jean, a shoestring in they belt, and it was fire. And I'm like, I love that swag. Thank God for vintage, you know. But I don't know. My swag is like
who would you say, like, did you ever get any?
I mean, I wanted to dress like Fabulous.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to dress like Fabulous, but I couldn't dress like Fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Throwback jerseys and 36 Iniches, or I know I'm saying that wrong because I'm not from New York. Cause I just seen on Instagram it was like NYC, I think, or something
that's what I thought. Yeah.
So you know, I wanted to wear stuff like that, but I could. It's LA. But I prided myself on certain things that I didn't do. Like I never wore Chuck Taylors because, you know, Chuck Taylors was such a LA thing. I never wore Cortezes. You know what I mean? I'm such a LA thing. You know, I very much love the East Coast Air Force One, the Jordan. I love every Jordan. Sneakers come from basketball. So Jason Kidd to Michael Jordan, and then football to Barry Sanders to whoever else was playing, them the shoes I like type shit.
And then I seen that you posted up, you're like, this is my second Air Force, homage to Cameron with the pink thing.
Yeah.
And I think what I took from it is like no friends and family, just homies and cousins.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What do you mean by that? Just homies and cousins?
So you know, if you ever was to get a shoe deal, being around I call her the $1 million baby. Okay. Being around the $1 million baby, you know, she got a shoe deal, and like, you know, one of the hardest things I watched her is like seeding people, like, you know, making sure you're not forgetting somebody who wants a free shoe. You know what I mean? And making sure you're not sending somebody a link to buy a shoe, because then I sent a link to Danny to buy a shoe, but then I gave Manny a shoe. Now Briss is like, you ain't give me shit. You know what I mean? So homies and cousins come from like, homies is like really your brothers, like your family. You know, like once you get to a certain age, like your cousins is like, I'm gonna give it to my cousins because your cousins are fans. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your cousins are like the fans of you. They always gonna support you. They always been there. They watched you grow up. But your homies is really like your family. So that's why I say homies and cousins, because it's like, I'm not about to no disrespect, I'm not ceding it to the brand dude at this brand because he got this brand. I don't even wear his brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
unless it's the James G, but I don't wear your brand. You know, so I give it to my homies and to my cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since I known you, you've been big Supreme and then all the stuff. So going back to like the underdog stuff, like I said in the couple podcasts, it's like we've known people that were the hot kid 2011, the hot kid 2012, but I feel like you've been the guy behind the scenes working with the hot kid at that time and this time and this time.
Yeah.
So where do you gather, like, I would say, the inspiration to like keep moving from one thing, and how does that make you feel that you're just like the background guy, like, and you take pride in it, which is cool. Like every time you come in here, you're like, yo, I worked on this, and some people will be like, what?
Yeah.
Like even like when right now is showing the 4, you told Sosa like, I made this shoe. So like, how do you telling a kid how to? I would say is like, how do you tell a kid to stay consistent for that longevity? Because you've been around forever, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's like It really depends on how you start, but if you really like it, if you really enjoy it, you're not even gonna know you're in it.
Yeah.
You know, like I never knew I was in this world until somebody, you know, told me I was in this world. I just was a fan of it. So it's like it's very hard to stay consistent, but if you don't flex and if you stack over flex. Like I got in this game because I just, you know, I was never a reseller. I bought the shoe that I like. Somebody offered me an amount of money I didn't have, and I wasn't going to fake like I had that amount of money. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to sell you this one, but when the next one come out next week, I got you, 100%, guaranteed. Like, I'm going to sell it to you, no problem. So I just started stacking. You know, shout out to the game, because he bought, like, DB6s off me when nobody was reselling sneakers, you know? Manny Pacquiao trainers when nobody wanted those. You have to drive to Vegas and drive to just a lot of stuff. So if you stay in the game, if you really enjoy it, the game gonna give you 5-10 years without you even knowing. You know, any rapper that we hear that come out and that's new and it's like this the newest hottest rapper. Yeah, he the newest hottest rapper in your world. Yeah. He been rapping for 15 years before you even heard a song. Yeah. So it's like same similarities. Like I just was in the streets early, like a kid, like really in the streets, like, you know, love sneakers. And the only way to get sneakers in my world was way outside the store. Yeah. So, you know, you have to fight outside them stores. You got to argue outside them stores. You battling grown men. You got to catch the bus. You know how many times I done got I camped out for Fragment Jordan 1s, right? I got 5 pairs. I got the bus home. You feel me? Yeah, I had 5 Fragment Jordan 1s. I caught the bus to Riff, actually. I caught the train to Riff LA downtown. Yeah. So it's like, if you just stay consistent, it's going to come, because then naturally celebrities will reach out like, yo, I can't get this shoe. Can you help me get this shoe? You know, people on the streets would be like, yo, that's Barlos. Like, he got the shoe. He can trade you the shoe, X, Y, and Z. It wasn't no consignment shop. I mean, it was Riff. And I would abuse Riff, you know, so much that I feel like I probably owe them a check too, because I would sit outside of Riff to hustle a hustle that was already going on. Yeah. I was trying to stop people before they was coming in, like, yo, I'll buy your shoes, because I know they going to buy them, but I'll buy them. Nah, I'm going to go. People, you know how many people turn me down? I'm about to go to Chris. Yeah. I'm about to go to Chris. I'm like, damn, you know? So, so you know, just honestly, my best advice with being consistent is just like, don't look at yourself as it, because like it's always somebody better than you. So you know, just if you keep grinding, you might become better than like 2 or 3 people, and you might get your swag up. You might build that relationship with a store where you could start getting pairs from there. But it's 100 stores. You know, I could legit at this day and age right now, I could text 15 stores and get 15 pairs of shoes. Yeah, but that took 15 years.
Yeah, people don't see the grind and how good it is, because just because I could do something in 30 seconds didn't mean that I learned it to do it in 30 seconds.
Man.
Yeah.
A lot of bamboozling and hustling and lost hopes and getting scammed. If you never got played, how you gonna get paid?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think I remember I even heard a quote where it was like, all good things come to those who stay true, you know, where it's like, I think a lot of people can take away from your story where it's like, you may not be front and center all the time of just like, and that's you're behind the scenes. And I don't think I've never seen you be like, man, but I helped you, like, and you kind of, you know, you kept the G, you kept the player, like you were just like, but I think in the back of your mind, like, I helped do this, and that's, like, that's enough for me.
Yeah, it's enough for me.
Yeah.
It's enough. Grateful, man.
Yeah.
Very grateful, because it's, I say this joke, and I'm going to try to say my best on camera, but, like, I know 100 athletes, I know 100 rappers, 100 males, and my homegirl is the one that got more shoes than all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that changed my perspective.
Yeah.
Even back then, like, Aleali got more shoes than Scottie Pippen.
Yo, clip that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just mind blowing, because you could try to stay true. You could say to yourself, I want to stay true, and nothing ever happens, and you watch somebody else get all the success you want. Then what? Now are you a hater?
Yeah.
Nah, you just keep staying true. I got I never been seated by Nike and stuff. My first seating came from my homegirl. Here, what size you wear? Oh, you wear 11? They only got a size 12. Can y'all make a 12 and a half for them? Oh, yeah, boom. Now, you know what I mean? Now it's like, now I could bless somebody else because I got blessed. And then you just keep it going. Keeps like a cycle,
Yeah. And then I guess to piggyback on that, where you were saying, like, you got seated, can you talk a little bit about how you got that V-Lone Air Force One? Because I remember you posted a pic and you were like, what's up?
Bari, that's Bari. That's Bari, but we can't talk about Bari and Nike.
One quick question I have, which is cool, like just eras. You used to have, when we all met first, you used to have Shoe Game Fucked Up. And it was like not too big, but it was a big thing. If you knew, you knew.
Yeah.
Do you think something like that now would be like the hottest shit? Because I feel like sometimes stuff happens too early.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you go back 10 years, and now if some kid at SneakerCon's like, yo, Shoe Game Fucked Up, he blows up, and you're just like, I was doing this 10 years ago.
You know what?
So how did that come about and stuff like that?
That's the transition that we all learn. Like, you own a business now, and you went through a lot before you owned your own business. I think us youths, like us reseller kids, block kids, I call us, we didn't know how to capitalize off of our lifestyle. Shoe Game Fucked Up was just my lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you was around me and you was in the shoe world, you knew, like, when certain people come through the lines, you're not getting no shoes.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I don't care who this LA. I mean, maybe in New York, DC, but in LA, certain group of cats come through the line,
It's over.
you know this, and they might not get no shoes. Nobody getting no shoes. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, Kevin Durant year of the dogs, like, not even hype shoes, like $100 sneakers now. Like, no, we can't get them all. Shut the whole line down. Shoe game is fucked up.
Yeah.
I seen mamas in line telling people, like, this is for my son for Christmas. This is a Jordan 11s. I don't care about your son for Christmas. We all need these.
Shoe game fucked up.
So definitely was ahead of my time. I wasn't really business savvy, but you know what? Around that time, I was looking and listening to a lot of Tyler, the Creator, because he was my only friend at that time who life just dramatically changed. Just he obviously had to sign a deal, because his life changed. So I was looking at him, trying to really figure out, like, how can what's about to happen with this in my life? Like, I know it's about to change. I didn't really do good with the business. I mean, I feel like I did a few things, but Shoe Game Fucked Up was if it was here today, that would be a brand, and it would be on Complex with the white dudes, and they'd be talking about it with Trinidad James and shoes, and it'd be some shit like that. It would be way bigger. But also too, I'm not a capitalism type of person. Like, Shoe Game, I love sneakers, so I made it for sneakers, but it wasn't, I didn't think I could make money. It wasn't to make money. I never even thought, I just thought about it for me and my friends. I never thought about it being global.
No, you would just pass the shirts around, I remember.
Yeah. And the hashtag went
crazy, because that's when hashtags were big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People will use my hashtag to, like, I think I inspired a hashtag, Kicksology. Kick was like Shoe Game Fucked Up or some shit like that.
It was like SGFU, I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Instagram took away cussing, so you have to abbreviate it. It was a time. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
So we'll take a little break, and we'll get back with Mr. Barlos. Back from our little break, we have another co-host, Manny, joining us.
Manuel.
We'll jump right into it.
Let's go.
So you mentioned earlier about Aleali being the first person to seat you.
Nah, just like OD see me,
Yeah.
like you know, like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I've been getting free shit since a kid off like Fairfax
Yeah.
and shit. But like that real Nike package, like, ooh, these ain't out yet. Like over the I can't say she started over the balcony because I've been getting unreleased shoes since a kid. But she just gave me the like the real sample pack.
Yeah.
Like these not coming out for nobody because your size is so weird and I make women's shoes. Like,
Yeah.
you know, shit like that. Like, or these shoes ain't never ever coming out. Here
Yeah.
you go. You know,
Yeah.
shit like
Can you talk about the force? that you brought in?
damn, yeah.
Yeah, let's get into some of that.
I got one shoe. So while everybody thinking like, oh, I got one shoe. See the boxes, no pump faking, like one shoe. That's how rare it is. So one. So if you got the shoe, you wearing them before me, I'm gonna look at you crazy because I got one shoe and I know the shoe, like for sure. But yeah.
So how'd that shoe come about and everything? Like,
This is a fire. Such a good shoe. This is a shoe she did for her dad, with Jordan. She kind of like, I feel like she always pays homage on every shoe. So, you know, she was like, I remember seeing her write it down. She was like, yo, I want a Jordan 4. And then she was like, I want to do one like for my dad, like for veterans. And then, you know,
that came about.
this girl's on fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's so many versions of the shoe that people don't know. There's a version that's on the bread bottom.
Yeah.
There's a version that's frayed. There's different types of variations of camo on the shoe. It's crazy.
So that shoe's never coming out.
Yeah, never.
Never. Okay,
I don't think so.
One topic that I personally want to talk about is resale, retail. What do you like? And I personally, I hate that retail frowns upon resale.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Because I feel like you're a good person to talk about it because you're on both sides. Like you understand both sides. You have people at resale shops, you have people at retail shops, and you're really good with them.
Yeah, you know what is so crazy? It's still to this day, it's a very hard transition of like being a reseller and then being like a designer or like a person, you know, like that type of thing. I remember the Nike securities that would do like undefeated lines and stuff when I wasn't a reseller to them anymore. I would walk up with like a Aleali or I'll walk up for an event or walk up for like our event.
Yeah.
They would look at me like, what are you doing? And I would be like,
I work here.
yeah, like today you work for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like today, you know, I remember to this day, they still do it to me. They like this guy. I remember one time, I'll never forget this story. Undefeated was opening their Glendale store. And they were re-releasing classics. So they were dropping the first Aleali Jordan 1s. So I hit up Undefeated like, yo, can we come grab some of our shoes? You know, could we buy a pair? And they're like, yeah, go down there. And I went down there and the security guard was like, you gotta wait in line like you always do. And I was like, ooh.
You fucked up.
Ooh. And then I waited a few minutes, and then they came out and got me, and they let me in and bought the shoes and walked out. And I told them to have a nice day. But I just always remember, I'm like, it's crazy how frowned upon it is, or it's crazy how people can't see a level up, situation. Like sometimes too, I'm in a room. I'm friends with a lot of cool people that make a lot of cool clothes, and I don't even ask them for clothes because I don't ever want me to fall on a hard time and have to sell that free item that I was gifted. If I ask Tremaine to send me something, man, he's gonna send it plus more. He's gonna send so much of it. Even if I ask for one shirt, he's sending 12 shirts, and I know I can sell 11 of those shirts and make money. So it's like, it's hard, I don't know if it's hard for him trusting it or for them trusting it because they understand it, but it's hard for me because it's like you don't get that many fire products.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get a handful of fire products. What you gonna do with it? Are you gonna sell it or are you gonna keep it? And that's why I try not to take a lot of gifts and stuff or ask anybody for anything because I don't want them to hit me with you sold my shit.
Yeah.
I honestly I feel offended sometimes when I come in here and there's certain pairs that we know we gifted to certain people and I see them in consignment shops. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
But I've been there so many times where I can't frown on you, but I'm like, you should have just told me you know you didn't want it or like
Yeah.
whatever. But then they probably needed the money at the same time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, my biggest problem, I would say, with the whole like, I would say the frowning, like from like corporations like Nike, Adidas. Like I remember the Nike Sean thing was such a big deal because it was a reseller collabing with
Yeah.
Nike.
Oh, it was a big deal.
But one thing that people don't understand, like in those corporations, is like I feel like us as the resale world, when you get to know us, you guys see how much we actually stimulate the economy.
Yes.
Like this is just me. This is not Manny. It's not DC. I've done basic math at home just because sometimes like all these comments, I'm like, yo, like is resale bad for this? Or like Nike never fucking with like a reseller or like blah, blah, blah. Basic math. If you spend $10,000 a day, which is a small amount of money in the resale world, if you spend $10,000 a day, 365 times for the last 5 years with partnerships with District 1, Round 2, and then now Syndicate, that's $19 million that we've put out to people,
To the world.
to the community. We're not getting shoes from Nike. We're not getting shoes from Adidas. We're not getting shoes from New Balance. This is your average customer, your average reseller coming in here and getting paid cash. So sometimes I'm like, yo, like I've personally, this is just me, I've put out $19 million at a minimum. That's just $10,000 a day. Sometimes at District here at Round 2, we spend $50,000 a day. So I'm just like, I've put out a minimum $19 million in the last 5 years. That's just 5 years, and we've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I've done more than some of these corporations probably have.
Yeah, facts.
But then I'm the bad guy because I'm flipping the shoes. So sometimes I feel offended, and I'm just like, damn, like some people are like, we can't give you shoes. You know the people that see it, but we can't give you shoes because you're a reseller.
Oh man.
And I'm just like,
Man.
cool.
So
you know?
listen,
Yeah.
it's so funny that you say that because I'm in a group of so many creative, cool people, and I'm the one. You know what I mean? I'm the oddball.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna see X, Y, Z. I'm gonna see them, but if we see him, we don't know him, but we heard about him.
Yeah.
I remember I posted the off-white dunks early, and somebody reached out to somebody who barely even knows me and asked them, how did he get those shoes? And he responded back, ever since I've known him, he's gotten shoes early. You know, not maybe on my caption I put X, Y, and Z sent them to me, and she said to him like, I know he didn't send it to him, but it's like, how do you know he didn't not send me the shoes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's one of the hardest ones, but also too, I take more pride in saying that I am one of the many reasons why a lot of kids, the next generation, they're not doing no taxes. Taxes shit is over. You know what I mean? Like our taxes, me and kids like us and you guys and the kids under us that's influencing this, we're fucked up if we want to take this to taxes and like professional type money. I've literally took 20 people from the ghetto, told them to camp out for a sneaker, and they made money.
Yeah.
I took 100 kids to Supreme, told them to wait in line, they made money.
Yeah.
And some people continue to do it, and some people stop. But at the end of the day, that's a job that generated income because something comes out 2 times a week in a product world.
Yeah.
Like the not for resale ones are really funny to me because they go for a lot of money, but it's like a joke on us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a joke on us.
Yeah.
Because like those are black and yellow Jordan ones. Those won't do nothing without people like us.
Yeah.
They would have never done anything without people like us. You know?
How important do you think it is to like go back? Because you mentioned you would bring people from like your area to like reselling, you know, like make some bread, this, that, and the third. How important do you think it is to go back to your community and then come back and bring these kids, like the dirt bike kid, obviously, that, you know, we always see you, you know, shout out. How important do you think that is?
That's the most important. You know, that's more important than me driving the best car with the best rims. You know, that is the most important thing to me because some people produce robbers and killers. Some people produce hustlers, you know, so it's like we're producing like hustlers, like, you know, the kid that come in your shop that is reselling you shoes, he didn't steal those shoes. You know, he probably hustled to get those shoes, and now he's trying to flip them. Because if he got those shoes for free and you offer him a price, he's taking it because he don't know the value.
Yeah.
But a lot of kids, you can always tell when someone don't know the value of something, right? So I think it was fire just to do something to kids around me that shows that you don't necessarily have to work at McDonald's, but you also don't have to steal from people or kill people to make money. You know, there's a very big avenue, you know.
You mentioned the 110 and Western, like Jordan campaign when you seen it, and you also mentioned a lot of negative things that you had seen there. How do you not let these things, like, you know, keep you there where you're like, you know, like you still have a positive mindset where you're like, I'm still gonna push forward. Like how you know?
Yeah, because it's the material things a little bit help with it, you know, like, you know, it's one thing that we do in the urban community is we teach kids to get fly and get fresh. We almost teaching them to be materialistic, you know, but that's one of the biggest motivations that we could give to them, to not be a druggie, not be a bum, you know, not be a jailbird. So, you know, it's like for example, if a 12-year-old reseller kid come in here, we're going to give him more love than a 35-year-old reseller man. Yeah. Because it's like, yo, you doing something positive. The grown man doing something positive too, and he probably going to do something more positive with the money, but that kid is just, you see something in that kid like you. You didn't steal, you didn't rob, you didn't kill, you didn't go to jail, so you kind of will promote the positive more in that kid than anything else. You will probably, I know Briss, if the shoe go for $220 and some kids come in here, he going to give them $225. You know what I mean? And they gonna keep coming back here, like, and that's gonna make them keep flipping. Even if they buy a shoe that doesn't do good, that's gonna motivate them to keep going. Cause they know, like, any shoe I buy, I know this store downtown gonna buy it for me, and we can make some money. Boom. And then, you know, off of that, Instagram is so fire because now kids could, like, take GRs and take vintage and take shop clothes, put a fit together, and potentially get more free items off of that item. So, you know, it's like a gate opener. Like, I opened the gate on some reseller. Here's a way to make money without having to necessarily apply for a job. And then somebody else opened the gate on designing the shoe or making the clothes or putting the fit pick together and doing a post for Instagram or doing the ad for this brand. And, you know, so it's, you know, I feel like I did what I possibly could in my neighborhood and around the world with peers like myself. And then that generation did whatever they could to take it to another level.
Yeah, I feel like going back to the kid, I remember when I first got hired at round 2, there was a group of like 13, 14-year-olds that would come to round 2, and Russo would, for example, it was literally almost always Russo. He would hate these kids being around. He would be like, why are you here? Why are you not in school? Blah, blah, blah. And one thing I literally told Russo, I'm like, yo, this 13-year-old, for the next 5 years, till 18, he is our customer. He is loyal to us. He's going to keep coming back. He's probably going to spend his parents' money, but he's us. And we could groom him because as from 13 to 18, I feel like that's when you're the most like you could buy into something. And then when you get to college, or if you do go to college or not, you choose, like, am I going to still stay into sneakers, or am I just going to be like a frat bro or on my major? So for at least 5 years, you have a loyal customer that's always going to keep coming back. Like, for example, Zach Brooker, I've known him since he was 13. Until this day, he comes in here, he goes to USC now, plays ball. He's one of our most loyal customers, but it's because, I don't want to say I groomed him, but I made him feel comfortable in the space where he was just like, I'm going to keep coming back to you.
You didn't gatekeep the hustle, you know, like I mean, it's so much to learn in it, but you shared a little bit of knowledge, or you taught him something where he didn't know, and he appreciate that forever. I'm sure he does.
Yeah, and all these kids kept coming back. Like, I have a cool story. It just happened. I brought in that Louis Vuitton jacket over here. One of my homies was just like, yo, bro, you should have put that at Justin Reed. He's just like, now you're going to have, like, regular people wearing this. And I brought my carpenter pants, too. Two $2,500 pants, $5,000 jacket. And in my thing is, it's like, when I was that kid and I couldn't afford $1,000 bonbons when they were cool, blah, 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 I would be like, oh, if I could trade something, add up and get this jacket, so now this kid could come in here, trade 4 banger shoes that probably has double ups, get this jacket that he could have never bought at Louis Vuitton. So to me, it's like that kid has access to this now that he would have never had access. Like at Justin Reed, he probably like can't go in there because Justin doesn't accept traits like that. You know, like he wants, it's consignment, so he need, you know. Yeah. So it's just giving people the opportunity, and I feel like in here, when somebody wants to come in and hang out, we're very like, yo, come in, hang out. We put our homie at a shop send us a picture how like their Mortal Kombat machine says, please do not touch. For us, if a kid wants to turn it on, we're like, yo, turn it on. This is how you play, blah, blah, blah.
That's it. That's a great experience.
Yeah.
Because you'll never, you know, you can, even if Supreme had it out, you can't touch it at Supreme.
Yeah.
So,
he mentions $1,000 bonbons, and I feel like that was like a very big era. I feel like that was around the era where we met. Like, what is some of like the earliest memories you have of like each of us, you think? Because I think a lot of people probably don't know that. Like, we've probably known each other for like 10 plus years, give or take.
Yeah. My earliest memories, Riff, shout out to Jeff, shout out to Riff LA. Yeah, that's a great question. Manny's always, like, when I first met Manny, y'all, he was really into like, he was trying to be like the fly, like Mexican in the hood, you know, like he was different. Like he had the Beamer. And I'm not gonna lie. When I met you, you was buying rims.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's so unaffordable. You know what I'm saying? Like you was buying rims, bro. Like you feel me? And you was trading shit to get the rims. Same thing that Briss kind of just explained. And when I first met Christian, because you know it wasn't no Briss yet. You know what? Honestly. My earliest memories of y'all was some real hustlers. Like, you know, also, not to bring race into this, but like just y'all being not black, not Asian, not white, like y'all being Hispanic. You know what I mean? Y'all worked for 2 Asian men. Y'all worked for an Asian company. You know what I mean? So it felt good to walk in there and kind of see some kids that I felt was like me. Yeah. Like I knew we had to have something similar because it wasn't nobody in there that looked like us, you know? So that's probably like one of my early memories is like going into Riff and like seeing y'all, like being more comfortable talking to people like my age, like, you know, like, oh yeah, like they the same age as me, like it's cool, you know, because Jeff is a hustler, you know? Jeff is a full-time hustler, so no disrespect. I learned a lot from him, but you're going to get hustled before you learn from Jeff, you know what I mean? Jeff is going to hustle you first, then you be cool, and you guys, like, we all been through the same hustle. Yeah. So we all had something in common when it was time to talk and shit.
No, yeah, I feel like, again, a lot of people will never give any of us our credit, but, like, when we work for somebody, we bring a whole different dynamic to that company. Like, working at Riff, like how you said, we're working for Asians, and we're really grateful to work there, and we learned a lot from them, but I'm pretty sure we brought in a lot that they'll never be like, yo, thank you guys for doing this. Like, I've never felt like I had an accent till I worked for Round 2.
Oh.
So when I worked for Round 2,
LA.
Okay. They started making fun of me like, eat food, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, but again, you know, I was never like the guy to be like, oh man, you guys are making me feel bad. I just thought like I grew up around Hispanics, black people, everybody, like where I never felt I had an accent until I met all these other people from Virginia. And they were just like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with your voice? And I was just like, I didn't take it as like a racist thing. I took it as a joke or all that stuff. But I was just like, now people that would have never came to Round 2 started coming to Round 2 because we were Hispanic and we were bringing a new flavor. But I never, ever felt like I had an accent until I started working for Round 2.
Round 2, that's very funny. Yeah. I would have never walked in Round 2 if it wasn't for you guys. I don't think a lot of people would understand that. But, like, that's one of the best things about tapping into the city, like, you know, making sure that you tap into some people that's actually from the city, because Sean probably doesn't know. I mean, he probably does. I can't say that, but Round 2, like, they did good as a business, but their employees made their business even better. Yeah, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah. I mean, I think that's what happens everywhere, because I think here, even one of our homies, I don't know if you know him, Jason. Maybe you've seen him. He literally said, "Hey, you guys are cool around the city because you guys are there. Like, they get the whole experience." And he's like, you guys will fuck up if you guys hire a ton of employees and dip out. And I think that's just the whole experience of it, which even with you, like, you've known us for years. Literally years. And it's just like that whole hustle mentality, and just knowing, like, all right, cool, Briss is here. I know I'm going to get a little bit of love because Briss is here, Manny's here. Like, you've gone to all the shops and followed us around.
It's crazy. It's a crazy journey, because this all started off sneakers. Yeah. Like, if you see, I mean, I don't wear crazy things, but if you see, like, the watch on the wrist, or, like, the chain on the neck, or, like, the cars, or you come to the niggas' houses, it's like, this all come from sneakers, from hustling off sneakers. Like, you know, I don't want you to think, like, that's why it's so cool that's why I enjoy that you guys have your own shop, because I know how much you guys enjoyed sneakers.
Yeah.
You could have easily took a corporate job, made your corporate money and been corporate, and Danny could have easily took a job at some brand and been that, and Manny could have took a job, and you guys like, let's take our money and put it together. That's a good hustle, you know. It's like, and like the OGs that y'all worked for got to respect it too, because y'all fans, you know, like y'all own a shop, but at the end of the day, if I come in here with something y'all size, y'all buying it.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that because me, like, let's say Andy, Angel, if they were like, yo, let's take the recipe and open our own shop, I'd be like, congrats.
I don't
like,
think you'll be mad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad.
No.
And the funny thing is that Sean was the only person that said that. He's just like, seeing you guys do your own stuff, that means I taught you well. Like, he's like, he saw it. Everybody else was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, they backstabbed us, no loyalty. And it's just like, bro, I was loyal around too to the day I couldn't work no more.
Yeah. I feel like you guys all were.
No, yeah, we were even loyal to Riff.
Yeah.
Like, our Instagram names were blah 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 .riffla.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
sir.
You get me?
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
Yes,
What
sir.
a
That's
time.
how loyal we were to
Let's do
Riff.
it.
Yeah, what a time, boy.
And then
you was tripping. I was
Yeah, but it was just like blah 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 .riffla.
Chris.riff.la.
Yeah, Manny.riffla, Danny.riffla, and it was just like we were a walking advertisement for you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
Without never having your own brand.
exactly. We were just like, all right, we're down for you guys, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one thing people don't see is just like as much like we always felt unappreciated at most of our places, but to me it's like I appreciate everything Ed did for me, everything Jeff did for me. Same thing with Sean, Luke, Russo. It's just like to me it's just like we had our hiccups and stuff like that, but to me it's like I learned something from it, and I'm pretty sure they all learned from something.
Yeah, for sure.
We seen the Sorry, I get distracted. I get ADD. We seen you on Instagram one time, and there was like a little moment where you kind of, you did some, I guess confiscating, I guess you would call it, and it was a big thing, obviously being into sneakers and clothes and all that.
Just get it out.
So what exactly happened? Like what in the most PG-13 way that you can explain it? With that gentleman.
Yeah, so they talking about Nike fiending. I don't know why we should have started off with Nike fiending, right? And I guess before I answer that shows you longevity. Like he was hot, he was there, and then, I've been hot, I've been there, and then it's like a battle of time. Like I'm still here, I'm literally still getting free shit. I'm still doing whatever, the Nike this, the Virgil whatever, and no one knows where he probably got a job, probably had to go back to regular life type shit because he wasn't humble when you first come into the game. But yes, so I had a little situation with my man's Nike fiending where he was selling subscriptions. And honestly, a lot of people said it was like bad, but it was a great, if you had the dough, it was a great investment. He was charging you up front. He basically was like charging you for the swag. He was charging you up front, like let's say $30,000 for a year of product at retail. Honestly, I don't know how he was ever going to cover that because I was a Supreme plug. So, anytime he was offering Supreme, I was like, he was banking it off of me and whatever other plugs that he had. I mean, you ever, I see a lot of rappers say this to people, but like, you ever made $1 million in one day? You know what I'm saying? Like, I never made $1 million in one day, but it's life changing. I seen $1 million get made in one day. I've seen it get made in like 14 hours, so it's not even technically one day. You feel me? Half a day. It changed his life. It made him go crazy, but he wasn't cultured enough to be in the world. It was kind of like it's a little bit of a copy and paste where he just seen the internet and thought he could get into the internet. And like he didn't really learn the internet. Like he acted as if he wasn't poor with it. So then, he started taking a lot of people's money, and then like a lot of people's money, and then let me say it one more time, a lot of people's money. And then it just went bad from there. He was just cashing a lot of checks that he can't handle. Like I would compare it to like how Barry is on Instagram, like with the clothes and like just like, Barry's like, he gonna let you know, like, I got 10,000 on me, I'm in a Maybach truck and I got this fit on. He wanted to be like that, but he didn't. He didn't put in no work or didn't really have anything to show to be like that. So it kind of backfired on me because he would put my name in it with a lot of stuff. And I always try to take pride in being like a good business. Like, I mean, I've did whatever dirt I did in the streets, but like I'm not like stealing people's money, like little kids' money off the internet to go buy some Chrome Hearts jeans. Like, I'm not like, I've been eating at 5-star restaurants and like shit like that. So it's real regular. But we started noticing it was becoming a scam when I did everything I could. First of all, let me say this on camera. I did everything I could to make sure everybody got their money back. I was calling PayPal on speaker. I would go Instagram Live. I was taking things I knew he took from people. I was giving it back to them. I tried to get rid of a lot of karma. And plus, I've been in the streets my whole life, so I didn't want to be walking down the street randomly, someone tap me on the back and blow my brains off because of a nigga from Virginia. Crazy.
All right, well, glad I'm being very clear. Okay.
So, yeah, so he got like too much money, and then like he started selling like concert tickets and shit. So I had to figure out a strategy to let the internet know and the name that I've built for myself that I wasn't attached to what he was doing. So I tried to make everything as public as possible. I don't know how to say it in the PG way, but I tried to just do everything public. Instagram Live, and Instagram Live just came out. So it's like when you go live, everybody's tuning in. You know what I mean? Like 100 people in live is a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. Especially when you like screaming and arguing with somebody. We went back and forth on the internet for a long time. I mean, he went at everybody. He went at the Beast Destroy Boys. He went at Aleali. He went at me. He went at my homie Ish. I mean, anybody he possibly could harm that he felt was a threat, he went after it. So we teamed up like the Avengers. Shout out to Aurora and everybody. We teamed up and we reached out to Instagram to get his account deleted. I had to call PayPal to get the money froze. But it was a really good scam because he still got away with a lot of product. I mean, I remember him buying like the Off-White collection, every shoe, the 12, you know what I mean, from GOAT. No matter what the price was, he'd just buy it and then he'd just have it. So I know even not to like, I don't want to speak too negative on him, but I know he still walked away with at least 100,000, 200,000-300,000 off product that he got to sell once everything died down. He definitely walked away with that because everybody fucked with him. Everybody sold to him. Everybody pre-ordered. That was his hustle. Everybody pre-ordered with him, so he had enough money. Yeah, the Off-White Jordan 1s, these shoes, he was selling them for $1,500, buying them at $900.
Yeah, I was there for that. I remember that's when I finally found out what he did. We were in New York, and it's when I first moved there, and then they did the Wall Street drop. That man never touched a shoe. Never touched a shoe. And it wasn't $1,500. It was $2,000. And he was walking around and being like, yo, you want to sell that? All right, boom, 1,000, ship it this way. Here's a label, And I literally was just like, this is genius. I literally was just like, this is genius. He's not touching shoes.
That's how me and him became such good friends because I didn't necessarily have to hang with him to still make $2,000 a day off of him. No. I would get a product and be like, yo, I got this. And he'll post it for a price that
ridiculous.
Crazy. Yo, one thing that I could say about Orlando, I was shipping so much product. I shipped a girl, I gave her a free pair of Sean Weatherspoons on accident, and I gave another girl a pair of Off-White Chicagos on accident. I accidentally shipped these people's shoes that they already had bought. So they got 2 pairs of each shoe.
Shit.
And I remember him telling me, like, it's all right. We'll just go find one for like $1,500 and we'll do it again. I was like, he's a genius.
Bro, no, I remember, like, he was so good at his job.
He was great.
That it was right before StockX that Nike Phoenix was the market. So, like, if a shoe said pre-order for $2,500, us shops would be like, oh, if Orlando could sell it for $2,500, we could sell it for $2,000. Fuck it.
I remember people would DM us like, I don't want to sell my collection to this consignment shop. I want to sell it to you.
Yeah.
That's when it was like getting, he had to bring me in because he understood that I probably knew the business a little faster than him, but he was making a crazy amount of money.
I remember he took me to dinner in New York. We had like
I never knew
7
this.
drinks. $900 bill comes in, and I was just like, fuck. And then he goes, I got you. Literally just waved me off, and he's like, I got you. And he's like, he tapped me in the back and said, welcome to New York. And I was just like, sick.
Yeah. Yeah. See, so here's some of the crazy things is like, I would take him to certain spots in the city. So when we got on bad terms, he would still try to go back to those spots, and the spots would call me. Like, yo, he's here. And I'll pull up like, you can't eat here. You know what I mean? Type shit. I remember kicking him out of John and Vinny's.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
you can't eat here. Like,
Yeah, but we'll take a little break,
Yeah,
and then
we'll
we'll
take a
close
break.
out with Barlos.
we can't end like that.
Now for our sneaker related content. No, I'm just kidding. So everybody knows me to be like the fragment guy, but if you know Barlos, you know there's a shoe that they're not even called this twos. They're called the Barlos twos now. And can you enlighten us about why your love for that shoe became so crazy? Because that's your shoe. That literally like this is the Barlos two.
If this shoe ever comes in any consignment shop, they know. Just sell it to me.
This is the Barlos two.
It's crazy that twos are popular. Y'all are pump faking with the put it up higher. Y'all pump faking with the Chicago's talking about I love the Jordan twos. Y'all are lying. Y'all just be doing anything. These are one of the most firest Jordans in the world ever made. Shout out to Jason Maiden, I think his name is. He's not with Jordan Brand no more. But these are so cool. When I first seen these shoes, I just was like, I seen them on the internet. I said, I'd do anything for those shoes. Like, and it was at the time where it's like, what, 2000, what was a hot Jordan? Like the Ben pack was about to really catch on fire and like shoes like that. So people didn't really fuck with a Jordan 2, like the model. And I just saw this shoe and said, yo, how can I afford to get 2 pairs? Because I couldn't afford really to get 1 pair. And I remember my girlfriend's dad was like, I'll buy you the whole pack. I was like, oh, what? He was like, yeah, he's like, I've been staring at the shoes on the internet for like a month, you know? And he was like, I'll get them for you. Like, I'll help you get them. So, you know, I'm a hustler. So what I did was the money that he gave me, I probably doubled it up with some other money because they dropped like a whole collection that day. I ended up getting all those shoes and I probably sold and wore a few. But when I got this shoe, I was like, nah, I'm never taking it off. Yeah. I wore this shoe for 367 days straight, every day. Now, every day straight, when I say 367. The 2 extra days is because on January 3rd, when I realized I wore this shoe for 365 days straight, I said, well, I might just keep going. But then it fell apart. Wow. Yeah.
Another shoe that was it part of that pack, the DB2s? Because you used to run that one a lot. The free run.
Yeah.
No,
yes,
the free run.
Yeah. I love the Dornbecker collection. Like as a shoe person, I just thought that was so fire. You let kids design a Jordan. Like kids don't really know what's really going on. Like they don't care. They don't know about gang banging. They don't know nothing. Like they don't care. And these are like a peacock, you know, now that I'm a grown man and I still love them. So that means that this kid should have been a designer. He should have made a shirt. He should have made a jacket. I probably would have bought it, you know, because 2007, I think, and I still really enjoy it. The Dornbecker Free Runner 2, the whole Dornbecker collection is amazing. The 6, the 1, the 4.
Superman on a shoe is great.
Neon green face on the back with the Superman logo. That kid he should have made at least $1 million.
Yeah.
In life, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know.
What else do we have down there?
You say you have a cool story about these.
You got all right, you're ready. These
so tell us about this.
So these is the RIP Virgils, and these is the off-whites. You know, there's a big difference. This is a good shoe. It's beautiful. It's bright red. Looks good. I got these from Flight Club. I ain't buying them though. So I got these from when the Los Angeles Loop. And, you know, I really feel like I'm very Los Angeles. So I can say that with, like, confidence and pride. Like, I got these from when my city was rioting. Flight Club. Paid the kid to climb up to the wall, and he did it. And I said, I need them. Flight Club got 1 million shoes in there. So, I mean, if y'all get mad for watching this, who cares? Y'all got paid, too. I got 1 million shoes, and I only wanted 1 shoe. I could have took a 100. This is a good shoe. I mean, obviously it's a good shoe because of Virgil and everything. This is a sample version. So this is at the highest on the Flight Club wall. It's like at the top. And then, you know, I don't know how it fell down, but it fell down and bingo, got it. Yeah.
You ever letting those go? You just gonna keep them?
Nah, yeah. This is just to enjoy, you know? Like, this is like, I hate sometimes when people keep shoes dead stock because you don't get to enjoy the beauty of the shoe. But this shoe in particular, and just with the passing of V, I just want to look at the shoe now. You know, it's not necessarily a price that would make me sell it unless I was like in a lot of trouble and I needed like $1 million really fast.
Yeah.
But because I can't fit them, so, you know.
I really feel this is like an iconic shoe.
Yeah, it's just like a great design shoe. Like, look, even how I give the Dornbecker dudes all their props on designing, and I give Aleali her props in designing, and I give like Ambush their props, and I love Cactus Planet Flea Market. This is a great design. Like, this is just fire. Like, no one thought of this. I never thought about this ever, and I think I'm one of the creative niggas in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fire.
I remember
shit.
this came out like I saw it and I was just like, yo,
Fire.
like this is nuts. And one thing about Virgil is Virgil always like looked what was next and he was always tapped in. Like that's one thing that like I think I would say like when people are like, oh, like what do you miss when he was around? It's just like now you have all these old heads saying like, yo, streetwear is dead, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And one thing about Virgil is he always looked for what's next.
Yeah.
He was always tapped in.
Tapped in with what I love about Virgil, and I love that you said tapped in. I like that he was tapped into the streets.
Yeah.
I love that aspect of it. Even if some people might say he was, you know, stealing it and taking it and doing it, doesn't matter. There's 100, he passed away, and there's 100 kids that got a Virgil story.
No, yeah.
You know what's so crazy? I actually, no one asked me, and I didn't get to do the Nike 100 interview, but I want to low-key share like one of my Virgil stories. The first time I ever met Virgil, I didn't know he designed anything. I met him at Coachella, and he was a DJ.
Yeah.
And I thought that was I literally said to Brick and to my homie Reese, I said, y'all never seen a DJ with that much swag. Like the way that people would like worship him. It's Kanye next to him and it was Tremaine next to him. And they were on Brick too. They were like, yo, I'll never forget it. It's such a fire story. It's like, yo, we going to breakfast tomorrow, like, you know, pull up. And I'm just like, and I'm like, Brick, who is that guy? He's like, that's Virgil. Like Brick is like telling me like, that's Virgil. And I'm like, Virgil? I'm like the girl on Instagram. Who is Virgil? And then, no bullshit, Coachella pass, maybe like 8 months later, I see this and I'm like, oh my God. I was in the presence of that and I didn't even know because I couldn't see past my man's DJing. I'm like, yo, bro, this man is creative as fuck. Like, that's incredible. Because I didn't, you know, I'm in the streets. I didn't know about no Pyrex and no Off-White. Like, you know, that didn't really do good in LA. I'm not going to hold you. Only the Asians really wore that out here. Like,
And we did.
I was like,
So funny story is Union carried Pyrex.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted it. So the manager at the time hit up Manny and they're like, yo, we got all this Pyrex shit, but we don't know what to do with it. We can't sell it. Manny says, I told Manny, I'm like, yo, tell him to bring the shorts. So he brought the shorts and I know they were hot because
they were hot.
I know Ed to have like immaculate taste. Ed Mateo, the owner of Rick. They came in and he's like, I fucking need those. So we got dibs after Ed. So we were wearing Pyrex shorts before like anybody out here. But I just knew I was a big fan of Virgil because I knew he was next to Ye.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Yeah. So
Same. That's how I met him.
So the funniest thing is, so then I think he got like in trouble with Pyrex, blah blah blah.
Okay.
So like a lawsuit. I don't know. I don't know the real story. I'd be lying to you if I knew. So then he became Off-White. Off-White early 2012, 2013.
You know, the rumor has it, it's just true though, because 12 don't lie. ASAP 12 gave him the name Off-White.
He said it's just so good. It's like Off-White.
It's
And-
like
or something
Pyrex was like something like cooking crack. So he was like, once you just, you know, cooking crack is Off-White. That's fire.
Yeah, and then I remember
That's goes back to your Virgil tapped in story.
Yeah.
You see how I tapped in?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he was
So
around these people.
it was funny that RSVP was launching the Off-White collection because it's the first time he did denim and all this shit. And I remember I sent it to these fools, and I was just like, yo, I'm buying the whole shit. So then I saw the prices. I was like, oh, fuck. I can't afford none of this shit.
Right.
So I bought a couple things, and I think it was like, I don't know if it was available to the public or something like that, but I remember I hit up Easy, and I remember I ordered like pants, a hoodie, shirts, and I remember he threw in like this crazy bag that I still have. It's cooked. It's a off-white bag, like first collection, like a tote bag that I would use for the gym and everything because it was free. And I remember I posted the bag, and I remember Virgil commented on my shit, and I literally was like, "Oh, he fucking saw it!" Blah, blah, blah. I was like all
Geek.
happy.
Yeah, geek.
But we were all giant fans of Virgil because of like him being next to Ye. Because Ye was like our idol.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like a cool story about Virgil, how we found out. And then when Off-White started coming around, I remember Sean and Russo would turn down Off-White at round 2. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is the new hot shit. So I remember I was like, you know what? I'm going to start. Off-White tees retail for like $300. So we were buying them off people for $100, and we wouldn't even put them up high, 150, 160. So now we were like, oh, we were getting Off-White tees. I remember one of my favorite ones was the one that said The End. It was just blue, and then he had like a hurricane duck one. I don't know. He had a lot of cool shit, but yeah, Off-White was hot for. Well, it's still hot, but it was like
that belt hit the streets crazy.
Yeah, the belt
belt hit the streets crazy.
Oh, no.
The belt spanked them. I ain't gonna lie.
Had everybody in a chokehold.
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't think they ever did another colorway.
They did.
They did?
They did, but the yellow one.
The yellow. All I remember is yellow. I just remember getting spanked with the yellow.
Yeah, I remember again, and this is like I don't want to say who it was, but this is homie selling stuff. I remember somebody came around too, and he's like, I don't fucking want none of this shit. I got it for free. And I remember when I first got the belt, I was just like, I'm lit.
My homegirl worked at the Off-White store in Soho, so she really was my plug.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing about being like fake famous and being in the streets. Like, because I'm in the streets, I get real. My plug is like a real genuine person. Like, she was my homegirl. She was hitting me up like, "Yo, you want the Off-Whites?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Off-White what? She like, anything you want. I said, huh? And then every drop, she was sending me 2 pairs of Off-Whites, from Prestos to Vapor Matte. It'd be days I didn't have the money. I had to scram up $600 digitally to figure out how I'm gonna send her the money. And thank you. I still thank you because them shit sold for so much money. It's like, yo, I love you, V.
Yeah.
Shout out to you
the
know.
Off-White plug in New York was so crazy because I had a plug too in there. So I would go pick up my shoes, and then fucking Luke would always be like, "Why the fuck do you get these shoes?" Like, as in like, how are you getting them for retail? Like, walk in, no line, nothing. And I was like, bro, like that's my homegirl. Like, and it's like my homegirl.
What's her name?
Angelica.
Ooh,
the white girl.
I thought you was gonna curb me and not tell me.
No, she don't work there no more.
Okay.
But
All right, mine's with Sasha. Shout out Sasha. Good looking,
I remember
Sasha. Good
Sasha.
luck.
Sasha was mad cool, short hair girl, right?
Yeah. She's a blessing.
Yeah. So it was funny because like the funniest thing was when you would walk the line and you would just walk in, and every reseller in the world is there
Right there.
pissed because you're walking in and be like, how the fuck, blah blah blah. So I would always tell her like, yo, I'll come like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't want to like get you in trouble. So then I was getting all these shoes for retail, just walking in.
I wanted to offer them money, bro.
I literally told her. I went up to her. I shit you not. MCAs, the blue one, the blue Air Force. I literally told her, I'm like, yo, you have access to these? And she was like, maybe. You know how they're all like tricky. And I literally told her, I'll give you $1,500 for every pair. And I was like, and she was just like, what do you mean? And I was just like, if you get 30 pairs, that's like $45K. If my math is
You scared her.
yeah. But then the thing is that she was just like, oh, I'm gonna hook up my homie. I'm gonna hook up this person. I literally told her, I was just like, I will literally. She's like, how would you do it? And I was just like, bro, I'm smart. I will send one employee at a time and get one shoe only, and I'll meet you up later. 30 bands, cash, whatever.
I'll give you 30 bands first.
Yeah, and then she was just like, nah, blah, blah. So then the funniest story is those MCAs. I go get my single pair. I come back to round 2. Luke's like, what the fuck, bro? I want one of those. And I was just like, yo, let's go see her, see what she can do. So I go pick up a shoe for Kelly.
You gave Luke the plug?
No. So and Luke's just there like this, like tapping his foot. And Angelica's just looking at him like, yo, like, what the fuck are you doing? So she's just like, come here. And then she like get like kind of like, fuck. So she takes them, and you remember the Off-White was a window where you pay for the stuff. And she bagged up MCA, and he was so hyped. He was just like, yo, what the fuck? And then later on, she's like, I should have gave that motherfucker a Terra, which was the ugly ass shoe.
Damn, Luke.
But he got the shoe.
Yeah, he
but
did. Yeah.
it was hard for me to tell people like, yeah, I can link you with her because you know how they were. It's just like, I can't, you know?
Same thing. It's like, you know what's crazy? It's hard to give up the plug.
Yeah.
It's hard to share the plug. Like I want to help you get them for retail too, so you won't be on my body. But it's like it's hard. And then it's like if I can get 2 for retail, you on my body. Like
I found out that early on, giving up the plug will fuck you up.
fuck you up.
We used to backdoor from Stonewood Mall and Downey at Riff, heavy, but we would do it incognito. Same thing. I would go get 2 pairs. I would send my brother to get 2 pairs. I took Willie with me, 2 pairs. So we were backdooring Gammas and Breads. Same thing, one at a time, blah, blah, blah. The manager got greedy, and we would give him $30 on top of each shoe, which is nothing. So one day he hits me up. He's like, yo, there's this store in Alhambra that's outbidding you and giving me $100 a pair. And I was just
What
like,
store?
Soul Stage. When they were in Alhambra.
Yeah.
Guess what this dude did? And it was big. It was on the internet. This dude went in there and purchased like 40 pairs at a time and walked out, and all the customers were hot. So then that's when the raffle system came into these stores and blah, blah, blah,
Wait.
because of that store.
Wait, no. I want to counter that. I feel like the raffle system came from me and my crew.
Oh, man. Yo.
Because look, we would go to Nike Town and we would be so rowdy. I would get to Nike if the shoe come on Saturday. I'm getting there on Tuesday.
Yeah. I remember Nike Town was first come, first serve.
Yeah, I'm shutting it down.
Yeah, first
Tuesday, shutting it down. I don't care who you.
Yeah.
By the time Saturday came, even if my homie's not there, you don't know what homies I got pulling up Saturday. So I felt like they got so fed up with that, so tired of us bullshitting them, and they was like, we're gonna come up with a art, because Nike's RSVP was the one where it'd be like, you get the texts and you'd be like, you got to be on Twitter at this time.
Yeah, Twitter. I remember the Twitter RSVP system.
So I got to counter you on that because I know I fucked up.
No, but that was just for Shoe Palace. And I remember I was tight because it became a big thing. And then they're like, I remember I even told Willie, because he was the one that would go get shoes for me too. I'd be like, bro, I don't care if they outbid me, but just be smart. Why are you going to walk out with 40 pairs, whatever's? Yeah. And I was just like, I would just send 1% at a time, car back. And it was just like putting in the work. But it's just kind of crazy to hear these stories and be like, damn, we've been in this shit for way too long.
Too long. We're old.
I'm talking about Gammas. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Nah, I remember, how about this? I remember my twin homies bringing 5 or 6 pairs of Yeezys, the Yeezy 2s, Platinums to Riff, and you guys being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Like,
how the fuck you have these?
Right.
I remember Riff posted the picture. This is right before I got hired. It was the 3 on top and then the 2 in the shelf, and it broke what the internet was at that time.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing that picture, and I remember even Manny had like one of the cleanest pictures like this of the Platinum.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember we would just be like, what the fuck? And I remember I even went in and I took this picture of me like with all the shoes right there and just going like this. And it was just like people didn't know how to act when they saw 5 of these shoes.
It was a great time.
Yeezy 2s. You had one. I don't know. You didn't know that your homie, the fur one.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. Shout out to Mikey. I've probably held and came across some of the craziest Yeezy samples, hands down. From VMAs to Pitas to Dark Twisted Fantasies to Zens with no prints on the strap, pink inside, orange inside. Like, I got blessed with those crazy. I remember having a Yeezy 2 animal fur inside. Came in a wooden box. Everybody thought that was fake. No. I don't even care about that. I remember having a Yeezy 1 blue that he wore when he was in a Lambo. I think it was like a Aventador or something like that.
Was it the Tinker or?
It was like.
It was like a navy blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Was it Tinker? Was that
No, it was navy with like the orange.
No, it was like navy blue and gray.
Gray, yeah.
Yeah, it was
It was
crazy.
like one of the samples. Yeah.
Crazy sample. Long
Bro,
time.
Yeezy ones. I have a funny story about Yeezy ones. It's probably gonna get me in trouble. But who cares?
This is what we're here for.
It's not gonna get me in trouble. Just dishonesty, and very rare in my life.
Whoa.
They had a sample in the back around too. Just in the back, in the fake section. And I remember one time I was working there for months, and I would always see it. I'm like, what the fuck is that box up there? Clean, perfect box. So I pull it out, and Sean's like, why are you looking at them fake-ass Yeezys for? And I was just like, in my head, I was like, these aren't fake. So then he was just like, you know what? They are fake. Started squishing the box, started throwing them. And I literally was just like, yo, let me wear them. Like,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And he was just like, you're going to wear these fakes? And I was just like, yeah sure. I went to Flight to see Chuck.
Oh, Chuck! Shout out to Chuck at Flight. Long time no see.
I told Chuck, yo, double check these, and then he goes, yeah, bro, they're samples. That's why they're still orange. And I was just like, can you put them in here? He was like, yeah, let's try like 2,500. And this is when they were going for like 18, whatever's. 2 days later, sold, authenticated, blah blah blah. And I literally was just like, damn, shout out Sean.
No commission fee.
Bro, that was I remember that was a good flip.
What else do we have down there? We see some Air Force boxes.
I just brought things that I felt like we haven't seen in a while that are cool. It's not a lot of people I feel like could challenge me with sneakers because if you got money, then you can buy the best sneakers. It's a very easy formula. But Julian, this dude named Julian, Mr. You Not Me.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I will always challenge and battle with him because he brings out the childhood shit, So I tried to I was acting as if he was here, bringing out childhood shit like, oh, Julian got those. I look up to him. He's a person I'll be like, yo, he got a lot of sneakers. And that's not a celebrity, There's other people. I mean, if you guys ever want to play sneakers, then I just call ARG 420 and then, game's over. You know what I mean?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I remember you being very close with him, perfect pair. Bro, people don't remember these sneaker celebrities that were had every shoe and the craziest shoes, not just GRs.
Yeah, I don't know, samples crazy.
Yeah.
Where'd you find those? How'd you get those? Kind of like how PG Knows does his page right now, they would have ate him up back in the day. He wouldn't be able to post anything because everything will go right there. Yeah. I remember OG Pat Sue.
Yeah.
You got,
I remember him. All dunks. Rick Owen dunks. Bro.
That boy had OGs, OG this Jordan, OG this, things like that excite me. So I brought I call them the Nellies. Give me two pairs, but a 2002 Air Force One mid. I got this gifted for my birthday actually from people from Cleveland. Shout out to Omar, shipped to Cle. And it's just a beautiful shoe. I just love how it just stayed beautiful in a good condition. This shoe for African Americans and just urban communities, and if you just like Jordans, because I know my Mexicans that's gonna beat you up about these too. This is a hood classic. So I brought a 2001 Bred Jordan 1. I think it's the first time it got retro. It came out in '96. Yeah, so it's the first retro. Dead stock. Still got all the Jordans. I still got the retro card in there too. But I had to bring these to show y'all because people don't. There's so many off-white great shoes and so many great sneakers that we don't care about these, but this is an exclusive Jordan. This used to be what exclusive Jordans were, trying to get the 11s on the morning that they came out. You missing school and shit like that. So that's why I brought these.
Yeah, I feel like that era of sneakers was my favorite, the Riff era, just because classics were in style.
Yeah.
Olympic Sixes retroed. Everybody wanted Olympic Sixes.
Fire.
Those 2012, everybody wanted
Countdown pack.
Yeah, all that stuff was hot. And it wasn't no collab. It wasn't nothing. It was just straight Jordans retroing that were hitting. The craziest shoe at the time that I would say wasn't a retro that I couldn't believe went for so much was the Bel Air 5s. When those hit the streets and they were $500, I was
like, these are, I got one, no disrespect. The Melody Asani ones, they go for a lot of money.
Yeah,
and they are
$1,500.
bad. They're not I'm just not bad.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not a classic. They're not a, whatever.
Yeah, but that's a collab. Yeah. So it just tells you what I think I understand all the eras because I could remember when these were going for bread and then now a Melody or Off-White, Union, anything. It's just everything is a collab now.
Yeah.
But she's besides a lady, she was probably the third girl to get a Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, yeah. V being the
Vashti.
Go ahead, name this. This is very funny because we on a sneaker podcast, and this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Name it.
What is it? Is it Vashti? Aleali? And Melody? There has to be one more, right?
There's another girl that has a Jordan with Jordan brand that no one talks about.
Who?
Rox Brown.
Oh yeah, she does. The roses. Yeah.
No disrespect, bad shoe. But,
No, she does have it's all 3M.
Yeah.
She does. Yeah.
You know what? If they didn't drop a shoe similar to that shoe, then her shoe would be a classic.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of shoes that people. I feel like it's just too much now. Where like it's a collab after collab after collab that they get looked over.
Yeah. Also, too, though, I think when people do collabs, they're so focused on trying to be different. Like no one's collabing, copying the original.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if that makes any sense. Like that's why the Aleali one is so good because it's like a shadow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Shadow with good material.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I feel like that keeping it classic is always good. Like for example, people ask me why Union ones are some of my favorite Jordans, and I was like,
It's a classic.
Because I could see Michael coming in his rookie year wearing that shoe.
Yeah. Union killed it with the Union one. They absolutely and taking inspirations from this and this and this, mixing two colorways on two styles of shoe, fire.
Yeah. No, I remember even their little ad, and they have Sean tweaking out, calling it fake at the Rose Bowl. I was just like,
Yeah, that was a
this is
great
good.
ad.
Yeah, I was just like, yo, this is good. He's like, yo, I never.
The
fucking
merch
seen
was
it.
so funny. We don't have a lot of time. They made Jordan 4 merch for the Union 1.
Yeah.
I always thought that was funny.
Yeah.
That was like a forecasting or foreshadowing or something like that. Yeah.
Cool. So we're almost out of time. Do you have any advice for somebody in the sneaker world, like coming up or in it? Like, what would be your best advice? Because to me, you're like one of our longest friends that has seen success at a steady incline since we've met.
Yeah, I'm going to actually quote interview I just seen from Upscale Crack. And he said it, and I don't want to say it and then feel like I'm not giving him the credit. But stack, you know, I came up because I had enough money to get the shoe at retail. So I did everything I could do to get the shoe at retail. But I couldn't even afford to wear the shoes that I waited 5 to 6, 7 days in line for. You feel me? So sometimes sacrifice. You don't got to be the flyest. You know, get like 3 shoes at retail. Like right now, the Travis Scott's is like an easy lick. Like Travis is doing it for everybody. You know, you get the black Travises, don't wear them because your man's got them or because Instagram making you want to wear them or it's like pressuring you. Nah, fuck that. Stack it. Stack the black Travis with the Mocha Travis and the Travis that come out in March. And in June, you're going to have $3,000. And then you can buy anything you want after that. Or then you buy something else and you make some more money. So that's my best advice is just sacrifice your body for your pockets. Like, don't wear them, stack them, buy them. Don't stop loving them. Don't stop liking them. Don't stop learning about them. But just don't wear them because you lose value once you wear them. You're going to get more money when you don't wear them and you stack them. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you for your time, obviously, coming down and checking us out. And it was great covering from sneakers to, like, a little controversy, you know, back to our Riff Days and all that. So we do thank you. Huh?
You wanted more, huh?
I wanted more.
Manny
we'll
for sure wanted more, but you know it's a family show. It's a family show.
But thank you for coming down.
I appreciate you guys,
us,
man.
honestly.
Thank you, Syndicate. Yeah. I wear you socks. I wear the clothes proudly. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're up.
Let's get it. Now we're going to Benihana's lunch.